I think the term "all that in a bag of chips" is crazy. I don't know. I don't even know who came up with it. All that in a bag of chips. However, however, I'm married. She can't be both. I mean, that's just disrespectful. And she definitely can't be a bag of chips. I can't be like, yo, Michelle Smalls is a bag of chips. Fuck around, she had fire smacked out of me. You run around Harlem telling niggas I'm a bag of chips? Easy. No way. What I can say though is she's, to me, naturally beautiful, and that's the best respectful way I could say that with being honest, right? Like my eyes see what they see. I cannot not see what I see. She's just naturally beautiful, blood. But that's not. It's not everything. It's like, all right. There's some females that's pretty, and then there's levels to attraction. So you could say gorgeous and all that. But at some point in the attraction is not just about the physical. I don't think females understand that. I don't they can't, right? And then some of them do. They're just about that money and they just want to be prostitutes. If you like it, I love it. I always say that. If you like it, I love it because it's for you. However, there's no label that will make you gorgeous. There's no, definitely no label that'll make you beautiful. When we throw that term around, beautiful, it's a combination of things. Beautiful, I think beautiful is a combination of things. So when I say she's naturally beautiful, obviously she's a brick house. Obviously. But if it was that alone, then that's not that alone. She cares. I think that's it. And I'm sorry for being slow winded, but Harlem is the only place in New York that actually has a king and queen. It is the only place, right? Now, granted, you got some people that call themselves queen of this and king of this. No disrespect. When in Harlem, the title is different, right? It's not like I'm the king of Philly, and I'm not throwing shots at Gilly. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to explain something to you that when someone has a title, queen in Harlem, it takes on a different role. There's an actual role. There's actually people coming to you to for advice, for to resolve certain things, right? They come to you with respect, with expectations, because you have the title. And it has nothing to do with anything negative. So I don't want people to thinking organized crime and all this other stuff. There's nothing to do with that. Miss, from what I know, she has served her time, and she has a real estate business that we're going to promote at the end of the video, and she also has a book out. So that knock that off. I think she's beautiful because she also lives up to, like, she makes an effort, a conscious effort to live up to the expectations of the role of Queen of Harlem. Now, where did this start from? Did this start with her? No, no, no. This is generations old. I want to introduce you to somebody, and you've probably heard of her, but there's something I want to mention distinctively when I talk about it, because there's been movies made about her and everything. However, I don't know how much in detail they discuss certain things. So, what I would like to do is discuss Madam Queen Stephanie St. Clair. Now, I could be wrong because I'm not from Harlem. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. But I do believe that this is where that queen status more than likely started from. She was impressive as well. The untold story of a Caribbean immigrant who became Harlem's most powerful, feared, and celebrated woman. Policy banker. What does that mean? Do you know what that means? We're going to get into it anyway. Activist, queen of the underground. Let's keep going before I give my spew. And shout out to you. Hit the like button. I don't know if I need you to hit the... I don't need you to hit the hype button on this right now. Hold your hype. Right? I'm doing a lot of videos right now where I'm just educating. You don't have to hit the hype for that. Just welcome. You understand? Hit the like button though. Thank you. From Martinique to Manhattan. In 1912, a young Afro-Caribbean woman from Martinique stepped through the gates of Ellis Island with little more than her formidable ambition. Stephanie St. Clair was a French-speaking, fiercely independent, and utterly unknown. Yet, within a decade, she would reshape the economic landscape of Harlem forever. Navigating the double barriers of race and gender in early 20th century New York, St. Clair refused to be defined by the narrow opportunities handed to immigrant women of color. She studied her new world with scholar's eyes and an entrepreneur instinct, building herself up from nothing into something. So, how did she do this? Like, what was the play? We all know Harlem. They're famous for hustlers, but flashy hustlers, right? And not just... Here's the thing I like about Harlem. Hustle doesn't mean just drugs. That's not what only hustle means. In Harlem, it could mean anything. Braiding hair. You understand? Selling instant. Just get to the money, man. Right? It is one of those places. Shout out to Pusha G's. Pusha G's has a he does these videos on Instagram. And there's this one lady he's always after. Right? Now, we know what time it is when we see her. We don't gotta say too much. What's understood don't need to be explained. But she stayed fly. And I say, God damn if that ain't Harlem, huh? You outside with the rest of them. They don't look nothing. But like she stayed fly. Knew everything. And she's still dealing with what she got to deal with outside. That's just Harlem. You gotta love it, right? So Miss St. Clair, she was in the numbers game. What's the numbers game? The numbers game is an illegal underground lottery. I remember being sent to the store. You know, you want to make a few dollars when you're young. I don't know where you're watching this, but if you grew up in New York, I grew up on the border of the Bronx. It's called Mount Vernon, New York. So when older people would see you walking in the street, they'd tell you, hey, come here. And then they tell you where to go to play some numbers for them. And there was a number spot on 242nd, right? So you go there, you just follow instructions, really. And they're playing the lotto. And you're like, why don't they play at the store? I don't know why they didn't play at the store, to tell you the truth. I think they paid more with the underground lotto. So a penny a bet system, beloved by Harlem's working class. Players wagered small amounts daily on 3-digit combinations, hoping for a massive payout. It was the people's game, accessible, communal, and entirely independent of white financial institutions that routinely denied black customers. I was always fascinated by this particular lotto game. Even going to play for other older people, I wanted to know how it worked. But I'm like, and no one, truth be told, no one was able to explain it to me the right way until I ran into a guy named Pimp who owned a pool hall on 4th Avenue and 3rd Street in Mount Vernon, New York. Now, Pimp, he kind of like took me under his wing when it came to like gambling. I think he wanted to turn me into a pimp. I think he did. He was always talking about him. And shout out to Pimp. That was my man Eugene's father from Pearl Street. But he would love talking to me about the game. But I just wanted to learn tricks about gambling from him. But he wanted to teach me about, now that I sit back and think about it, he really wanted me to learn overall hustling. Like, just, it wasn't only about gambling. It was about a lot of things that he wanted me to distinguish and see. But he was able to break down to me how that game worked and how there was, I believe if I remember right, it was running off of the horse numbers. So it's been a while since he broke it down to me. St. Clair's Empire. By the late 1920s, Stephanie St. Clair had become the undisputed policy queen of Harlem. Her operation employed hundreds of runners, collectors, and bankers across the neighborhood. At its peak, her syndicate was generating hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, making her the wealthiest woman in all New York City, regardless of race. God damn. You go get him. Who? I'm not celebrating her crime. And I'm going to keep it real with you. To this day, I do what I got to do. You just would never know it, right? So I don't get up here and I'm some type of hypocrite. What I tell you is, if you're doing something that is risque, shut your goddamn mouth and get it done. You don't need to come to the internet, show everybody you're a real nigga. Like, that's not ever what we're doing. Ever what we're doing. Right? I love being Kaiser Sose. Huh? Kaiser Sose from the Usual Suspects. Why is everybody mean mugging? Why is everybody running around looking like the suspect? What would that benefit you? That's crazy. But that's another story. Let's get back to this. Apparently there was a numbers war. In the late 1920s and 1930s, white organized crime noticed that what was hiding in plain sight. Harlem's number racket was a gold mine. So Dutch Schultz moved in with violence and intimidation, strong arming independent policy bankers into submission or worse. Let's get to what a policy banker is, and we come back to that. Come back to that. I don't have it on here. Excuse me, y'all. As I try to find the definition of this here policy making. Well, actually, all it really is the fact that you're funding your own illegal lottery. And that is basically it. So either way, it's impressive that not only people of color could have pulled off a feat during this time, but a woman nonetheless. And I'm not glamorizing crime. She did what she did. She handled her business. I don't like to glamorize crime. Let's get. I don't want to be two-faced with you guys. Let me keep it 1,000 with you. I don't like to glamorize crime because I don't want to make it feel like other people have to feel like in order to be somebody in this life, they have to get involved with shenanigans. It's too late for me to say I'm not a street. I'm not a street nigga, but you understand? So what I'm really saying is, give these people a chance, man. Give these younger people a chance. Don't make them feel like in order to be important, they got to get into this. Now, there's some that is just gonna go down that road. And what I would do, don't send me in them your way. Don't send them my way. Because once I see this nigga is never going that path. Alright, listen, dude. I can help you by telling you how to move out here. That's the best I could do. Because you're not going to go the straight and narrow path. You are dead set on going left. So the best I could do is help you go left as straight as possible. And some people are just dead set on that. And you're not going to be able to make everyone go straight because everyone's not straight and narrow. But let's not make every kid feel like you are nobody unless you... Nah, we're not doing that. That's sucker shit to me. Where are we at? Movement. Okay. Most folded. Stephanie St. Clair did not. She evaded hired hitmen, deployed brilliant counter strategies, and refused to surrender a single dollar of her empire to Dutch Schultz. That's impressive. Where others saw insurmountable danger, she saw a chess game and she played it masterfully. Hail to the queen. An uneasy partnership. Cornered by Dutch Schultz's relentless expansion, St. Clair made a calculated move to temporarily align with Bumpy Johnson, Harlem's own formidable street kingpin. Together, they presented a unified front that Schultz could not easily break. It was a partnership born of necessity. Two powerful, proud, and fiercely independent figures choosing survival over pride. Oh, man. I'm conflicted because I admire two criminals that were able to work together, even though I don't want to glorify it. They were able to work together. And I think that's the part that I admire. I'm going to be 1,000 with you. And the story's not over. One of the main things, and I'm going to get straight to it. When it came to Madame St. Clair, I think the most impressive thing for me is the same thing with Michelle Smalls. She cared. When you go to Michelle Smalls' Instagram, you always see her. Not always. Sometimes she's flipping out, dumbing out on people. Sometimes she's blacking out on people. I think she blacked on Mayor Mendami. But you do see her helping people too, right? You see her giving back to community. She always got wise words. That's the beautiful part. It's not her shape. That's called sexy, I believe. You combine that with her concern and involvement and her genuineness, that's the key word, then all of a sudden you got to making of something beautiful. Now you got to making of something beautiful. So when it came to Madame St. Clair, it says victory over the mob didn't define the limits of St. Clair's ambition. She purchased prime real estate in Sugar Hill, Harlem's most prestigious and affluent enclave, and moved among the neighborhood's intellectual and creative elite with complete confidence. Man, I am so hurt is the word. Because today's people, not all, I see there's a lot of people that move in the street with integrity. A lot. You wouldn't know them because they know how to move. They don't, not only integrity, a couple of things. There's a lot that move with style, and there's a lot that move with grace. And I would love to shout their names out, but then that would defeat the purpose, now wouldn't it? Yes, it would. There's a lot that they don't move like some stereotypical, how you guys like to paint this criminal like some just Neanderthal. You understand? They actually have concern for their community. And this is what hurts. You get these Neanderthal type animals as the poster child for the people who are doing certain things in the underworld. However, when it came to St. Clair, Madame St. Clair, she invested money in a lot of the intellectuals and the civil rights activists and the people who wanted to restore our race to greatness. So, W.E.B. Du Bois, who was a sociologist, civil rights trailblazer, and co-founder of the NAACP, she invested in him. She invested in Langston Hughes, who was you guys should know. I don't know what they're teaching now in these schools, but she invested in the poet laureate Langston Hughes, who was part of the Harlem Renaissance, which could be synonymous with the Black Renaissance, the second Black Renaissance. We're due for another one. We are due. These people try hard to run these psyops on us. You understand? Invest in our erosion as a people, just dilapidation as a people. They'll invest in a song like where all my scamming ass niggas at, and let that go viral, right? But yet, as I live and breathe, there's a black man on Instagram right now. Um, there's a couple of black men. One is he's out here making water from air and just giving out free water. You understand? He doesn't get promoted because obviously they're trying to find a way to assassinate him without us knowing so they could take the patent. There's another one, I think he's out here running off. His car is running off something like plastic. He turns plastic into diesel and his car is just running off that. These are brilliant minds I'm talking about, right? But they don't get promoted. All of this silly shit gets promoted. It's crazy. But she bankrolled and befriended him. Right? So she had a concern and she had a love for her culture. St. Clair used her wealth to fund black-owned businesses, legal defense funds, and community causes at the heart of Harlem's cultural golden age. And I think, in my opinion, if you're going to be queen of anywhere, but right now we're talking about Queen of Harlem, you have to have the ability not just to rule with an iron fist, because Michelle Smalls obviously is not a sucker. You mean, I say obviously, but you may be watching this from wherever. You're not from New York, right? So let me just tell you, she's like that. She's like that. However, she's not raunchy, cheap. When I say cheap, it has nothing to do with clothes or how much you spend. It's you selling yourself off as a cheap individual. Take a look at Instagram real quick and then promote some of what she got going on. Now, some of these are blocked out. I think it's the software that just does it automatically. Hold on. I'm going to... Give me a second. We're going to go back to our page. Alright, cool. And then I want to show you a couple of things here. Boom. Alright. Now, let's just take this one here. She's always doing stuff like this, right? Some type of basketball camp. And, yo, I've seen her give out $100,000, right? I'm going to get something. This one right here. This one involves Kid Capri. She's involved in this. Michelle Smalls plus the Queen of Harlem's present Youth Explosion. Yo, you gotta love this. You just gotta. She also has her own. Let me see. Is this it right here? Nope. There we go. Wow. She has her own real estate firm. You understand? Beautiful smile. Beautiful. Michelle Smalls Realty offers courses on affordable housing programs, home buyers, commercial real estate, resident. Okay. Okay. Right? So, I just bring that up to say, great example for other young females coming up. Right? So I hate that song, by the way, where all my scamming ass niggas at. Let's step it up. Today was a great day at the breakfast before the basketball clinic. You know, I just love the work that she's doing in the community. She is also working with Dame Dash. Shout out to Dame Dash who found his way back, blood. Yo, bro, welcome back, Dame. Cause you was tripping for a sec with the. I think we all troll and a little bit of the cloud chasing. I don't do a lot of cloud chasing. I troll the shit out of a lot of things, but I don't do that much cloud chasing. But you was wilding, Dame, for a little bit. But I think you're back, bro. You got it. So Dame Dash with the New America, he's on fire right now, and he has Let's see. I think she promoted him somewhere on her page. There we go. Let's see what he got going on.
And I'm just not seeing people be creative. I'm seeing them talk a lot. So I'm putting out the trailer, and I wanted to explain the trailer to you for what you're going to see in the season. What you're going to see is the first installment of My Paid in Full, the docu-series. What you're going to do is see people that I actually hustled with. George Valdez, you know the movie Scarface? It was based on him. And then we're going to go to the Queen of Harlem, and she's personally my son's godmother, and she takes care of Harlem. You know, my brother Jake.
You see what he said? She takes care of her. It's the only. Actually, I've been around America. I've never seen anything like this. You know, obviously you have, sometimes you have district leaders, but these are appointed people, right? But this is a status that is passed down and then agreed upon with no vote. It's just, it's an unofficial vote. They're like, yeah, this person is the Queen of Harlem. And they honor it. And it's just like that. And I think that's dope. So, you know, I just wanted to give her props and just let it be known people are watching, right? And you are living up to the hype. And please continue to do great things. Great things are ahead of you. And that's all I really wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you. Shout out to Harlem. Hit the like button. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.